Here, who exactly is Cam Wilder? A lot of people might not have an idea.
A big social media star, has over 10 million followers.
I didn't think I was going to be this tall. If I knew I was going to be this tall, I'd have stuck with football for sure.
Well, Cam Wilder is tagged a man with millions of followers.
From being a bench warmer throughout his high school and college basketball career to coming up with one of the brightest ideas and truly taking that risk that's really helped change his life for the better, Cam Wilder believed in himself even when most overlooked his potential. And while many would have got discouraged and quit, this is a person who did the complete opposite and carved his own way to success, despite what everybody else had to say about him. This is the Cam Wilder story. Born on October 5th, 2000 in Litchfield Park, Arizona, Cam Wilder grew up as a military kid. And because of that, as a child, his family would find themselves moving every 3 to 4 years. In middle school, he would reside in Texas. And well before really sticking to basketball, football was one of the main sports he was gravitating towards as he played the quarterback position.
I was a football player. I was actually really good in Texas. You know how big football is in Texas. I was getting offers, not even offers, but like looks to be a quarterback at these big high schools when I was in 7th, 8th grade. But my dad got orders to I would either stay in the United States or go to Ramstein, Germany. And they stayed in the United States. We went to Arizona, but whatever high school I went to in Arizona ruined my football experience because of they've been watching kids since they were kids out in Arizona, so it just ruined my whole vibe with that.
So every school team or AAU basketball team he played for, he would always constantly have to really try to prove himself, because every team he played for would mostly already have established players. So there would be many times to where he truly would have to put in extra work just to really get recognized. Now Wilder would go on to attend Millennium High School in Goodyear, Arizona, and throughout his high school basketball career, he was the type of player that would only get in the game once it was just 30 seconds left. And even when he became an upperclassman, he would rarely get PT on the varsity crew. Cam would always get told by his coaches that he was doing too much once he got in the game, which always followed to him getting snatched right out the game. And despite only being 6 foot by the time he ended his high school career, eventually he would start getting offers, which came from when he played AAU. And that was from Knox College, a Division III school in Illinois, as well as Midland University in Nebraska, an NAIA school, which so happened to be the school he chose. Now Midland would actually have a varsity team and a JV team. On JV, he would go off on the regular, while standing at 6'2" and 185 pounds, and averaged 25 points per game. But on varsity, he would average just 1.3 points per contest, as he really didn't see the court at all.
Now I had some attitude problems because I felt like I should have been on the top team when I wasn't. So maybe it's my attitude sometimes. But after my freshman year, I was like, yeah, no way I stay at this school again. Right, I need to get out of here. So I get an offer from Ottawa University in Arizona. This school hasn't seen me play either. My hometown. This school's in my hometown. This school has never seen me play. So they signed me based off of film from my JV year of me just killing it on JV.
But truthfully, his sophomore year would be the same experience as his freshman season. He would play JV and would kill, but would not get a real opportunity on varsity. At this same point in time, Cam's page was blowing up on TikTok, and his coach so happened found out about it and believed he was way more invested into that than the overall betterment of the team. That was the main reason why he never got moved up to varsity. So because of that, he would make the move once again after the season. And for Wilder, at this point, he just wanted a real opportunity. And that opportunity so happened to be at SAG-U, an American Indian college. And the coach was pretty adamant about wanting Cam on his crew and thought that he could add a lot of value to the team. See, the work that Cam was putting in behind closed doors to better his game went on to really impress the coaching staff. And it was just seeming like he was finally getting that opportunity to rock out. On top of that, Cam had grew to be 6'5".
I signed, I'm on the team. But then it came a time where this is when my YouTube started blowing up, y'all. I mean, my YouTube was going up. I started making money. And so I look at my mom, I was like, Mom, like, I kind of want to do this social media full time. And then she's like, okay, you need to make a decision.
So as he had gained 3 million followers on TikTok and his park takeovers on YouTube was also doing crazy numbers, it would be a tough decision to make. But not too long after, out of nowhere, his coach would so happen to be fired, which ultimately led Cam to decommit from SAG-U. And that situation from Cam was like a clear sign to him, which led him to focus all of his attention towards social media. Now in 2022, Wilder would truly change the game as he created his own AAU team, known as Rod Wave Elite, named after his favorite artist. And from the jump, it wasn't your normal AAU team.
So most kids, they play for the EYBL team, UAA, Adidas. They'll go play for them, obviously, play for college coaches, get looks and shit like that. They come to me for one weekend to get as much exposure as they can. Because most of these kids coming to me with like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 followers. Not too many people know them, and they got D1 offers. I just try my hardest to get them as many followers as I can. That's mainly what I did it for.
Now Cam would put together some unstoppable teams that consisted of celebrities and 5-star recruits. It wasn't a serious team or anything like that to where scouts were in attendance, as it was mainly made for content purposes where they would only play in one weekend tournaments and split up after that one weekend. Now since Cam has started his AAU team, he's took 2 specific players under his wing that have been with him nearly every single tournament, and that's Nelson and LeVar. And over the last few years, Cam has been able to coach some of the most exciting athletes in all of high school basketball, like Trey Parker, Ja'Kai Howard, Taylon Kenny, and Jalil Badea, but also has even coached former players that has been able to go on to be NBA lottery picks, like Jeremiah Fears, Dylan Harper, and even Thomas Sorb at just the age of 24 years old. Sky is truly the limit for Cam Wilder. And over these last few years, he's not only opened up doors for himself, but practically everyone else around him. And with packed out gyms and media outlets all over the sidelines, in a matter of a few years, it's really became one of the biggest movements in the social media high school basketball era that we've ever seen. And he's only continuing to grow.
Not only just for consecration, but just like growing up and then doing what you're doing now. Did you ever imagine that this would be the position?
Absolutely not. I was a military kid. You know what I'm saying? So I was around a lot. I would copy people, and then it get to a point where I would start seeing the videos and I'd be like, okay, let me switch it up, put it in my own words a little bit. And then I started falling in love with the creative process because I fell in love with the opinions of what I'm putting out. I fell in love with the fact that people love this, people can relate to this, things like that. So I'm like, okay, let me start getting creative. And then, I just started grinding.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Cam Wilder story.